Good morning, my friends. There's a simple truth that separates those who succeed from those who falter. It is this: adversity is not your enemy, it is your greatest teacher. The strongest minds, the most successful people, and the greatest leaders all share one thing in common. They were forged in the fire of hardship. The mind, much like a muscle, does not grow when it remains in a state of ease. Growth comes through challenge, through resistance, through overcoming obstacles that seem at first insurmountable. If you've ever observed an athlete training for a competition, you'll notice one thing. They do not strengthen their bodies by staying comfortable. They push themselves to their limits, lifting heavier weights, running longer distances, enduring greater exhaustion, and in doing so, their bodies adapt, becoming stronger and more capable than before. The mind works in precisely the same way. When life is easy, when everything falls into place without effort, there is no reason to grow. There is no incentive to think beyond the present moment, no pressure to sharpen one's abilities, no challenge to inspire innovation. But introduce difficulty, and suddenly the mind is forced to stretch. It must learn, adapt, and evolve. Hard times act your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. Every achievement, every success, every breakthrough that has ever been accomplished first began as a single thought. The mind is like fertile soil. It will grow whatever you plant in it. If you plant weeds of doubt, fear, and failure, that is what you will harvest. But if you plant the seeds of confidence, determination, and success, your life will reflect those very things. This principle is not just philosophy, it is a universal law. What you consistently think about shapes your actions, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. A person who fills their mind with thoughts of failure, limitations, and setbacks will unknowingly create a life filled with those very things. They will hesitate. They will doubt themselves, and they will avoid opportunities because their mind has been conditioned to expect defeat. On the other hand, the person who fills their mind with thoughts of success, growth, and resilience will naturally take actions that align with those thoughts. They will persist through obstacles, see opportunities where others see roadblocks, and move forward with confidence. Consider two individuals who face the same difficult situation. Perhaps they lose their job. One of them allows their thoughts to spiral into fear and self-pity. They tell themselves they are unlucky, that the economy is against them, that they have no control. They become paralyzed by these thoughts, and as a result, they do not take action. The other individual, however, recognizes the same challenge, but sees it through a different lens. They tell themselves that this is an opportunity to find something better, to develop new skills, to explore possibilities they had never considered before. Their thoughts drive them to take action, and soon they find themselves in a position better than they were before. The situation was the same. The only difference was the way each person chose to think. Every great leader, innovator, and successful individual throughout history understood this principle. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." Those who have accomplished great things did so because they believed they could. Their thoughts drove them to take risks, to push through failures, to keep moving forward when others gave up. Life is full of unexpected challenges. At some point, every one of us will face setbacks, times when plans fall apart, doors close, and progress seems to stall. In those moments, it is easy to feel discouraged, to believe that failure is final. But the truth is, every setback carries the seed of an opportunity. Hidden within every difficulty is the potential for growth, new direction, and even greater success than we originally imagined. History has repeatedly shown that setbacks are often disguised turning points. Consider the story of Walt Disney. Early in his career, he was fired from a newspaper job because his editor said he lacked creativity. Imagine that. One of the greatest creative minds of all time was once told he had no imagination. But instead of accepting that as the end of his dream, Disney used it as fuel to push forward. He faced multiple business failures and even bankruptcy before eventually creating the empire that is now Disney. Had he given up at his first major setback, the world would never have known. Every great success story is built upon one foundational skill: persistence. It is the single quality that separates those who achieve greatness from those who fall short. Talent alone is not enough. Intelligence, luck, or even opportunity cannot replace the power of persistence. And persistence is not something you are born with. It is something you develop, and it is often forged in the fire of hardship. Hard times test a person in ways they never expected. When faced with challenges, most people tend to retreat. They see struggle as a sign to stop, as proof that they are not meant to succeed. But those who achieve extraordinary things understand that hardship is not an obstacle, it is a teacher. It is through difficulties that persistence is developed. And once a person has mastered persistence, there is no limit to what they can accomplish. Look at any successful person, and you will find a story of hardship. Thomas Edison failed over 1,0,0,0,0 times before perfecting the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he did not see them as mistakes. He saw them as steps in the learning process. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,0,0,0,0 ways that won't work. That mindset is the essence of persistence. The willingness to keep going, to keep trying, to push forward no matter how many times you stumble. That is what turns failure into success. The truth is, every difficulty you face is an opportunity to develop persistence. Each time you encounter a setback and refuse to quit, you strengthen your ability to endure. With each challenge you overcome, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling more. And as you continue forward, you will find that things that once seemed impossible no longer intimidate you. Consider an athlete training for a championship. Every practice is grueling. Every workout pushes them past their limits. There are days when they feel exhausted, when their muscles ache, when their mind tells them to quit. But they persist. They push through the pain, they train harder, they refuse to give up. And because of that, they become stronger, faster, and better than they were before. Life is not defined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. Every day we are faced with situations that test our patience, challenge our resolve, and push us beyond our comfort zones. Some people allow circumstances to dictate their lives, reacting emotionally, feeling powerless, and believing they have no control. Others, however, recognize a simple but profound truth. It is not the situation itself, but their response to it that determines the outcome. Consider two individuals who experience the exact same hardship. Let's say they both lose their jobs. One person reacts with despair. They see themselves as a victim, blaming the company, the economy, or bad luck. They become consumed by fear, hesitant to take action, and over time their confidence erodes. The other person, however, sees the situation as an opportunity. They recognize that while they cannot control losing their job, they can control what happens next. Instead of dwelling on what they've lost, they focus on what they can gain. They update their skills, explore new opportunities, and perhaps even start their own business. A year later, this individual is thriving, while the first remains stuck, trapped by their own negative response. This principle is not just about careers. It applies to every area of life. Challenges, setbacks, and difficulties are inevitable, but how you choose to respond to them will determine whether they break you or make you stronger. Imagine you are driving to an important meeting and suddenly you get a flat tire. You now have two choices. You can become frustrated, angry, and stressed, letting the situation ruin your day. Or you can accept the reality of the situation, calmly change the tire, and move forward with a clear mind. The flat tire is the same in both scenarios, but the outcome is completely different because of the response. One of the greatest examples of the power of response comes from the life of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps during World War II. He witnessed unimaginable suffering, lost his family, and endured conditions that would break most people. The road to success is never smooth, nor is it meant to be. The greatest rewards in life are not handed to us. They must be earned, often through struggle, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to keep moving forward. If the path were easy, everyone would walk it, but it is precisely because it is difficult that it holds the greatest reward. We often look at successful individuals and admire what they have achieved, but we rarely see the difficult journey that led them there. Every great entrepreneur, artist, leader, or athlete has faced moments of doubt, failure, and hardship. Yet they pressed on. They understood that the difficulty of the path was not a sign to turn back, but a test of how much they truly wanted their goal. Life does not give rewards to those who seek comfort. It rewards those who embrace challenge, those who are willing to endure difficulty for something greater. A mountain climber does not reach the peak by staying in the valley. They struggle against gravity, exhaustion, and the elements, but with each step they ascend to something greater. And when they finally reach the summit, they experience a view that few will ever see. That is the reward of choosing the harder path. Many people seek shortcuts, hoping to achieve success without struggle. But shortcuts never lead to lasting success. They may provide temporary results, but they lack the depth and strength that come from true perseverance. Those who take the easy road often find themselves unprepared for real challenges when they arise. They lack the resilience, discipline, and wisdom that come only from facing adversity head-on. The hardest paths shape you. They refine you. They force you to grow in ways you never would have otherwise. Every obstacle you overcome makes you stronger. Every setback you endure teaches you something valuable. And every challenge you face prepares you for even greater opportunities. Without difficulty, there is no growth. Without struggle, there is no transformation. So when you find yourself facing a path that seems too difficult, remember this. The struggle is part of the journey. It is not there to stop you. It is there to strengthen you. It is shaping you into the person capable of achieving your greatest goals. The harder the path, the greater the victory. The more difficult the climb, the more breathtaking the view. Success is not about avoiding hardship. It is about embracing it. Those who choose the difficult road with determination and persistence are the ones who reap the greatest rewards. They understand that nothing worth having comes easy, and because of that, they are willing to endure what others will not. So do not fear the hard path. Do not shy away from the struggle. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that every challenge brings you one step closer to the reward that few will ever experience. The greatest victories are reserved for those who dare to take the hardest paths.